In the Zagros Mountains of Iran, something remarkable happens every morning just after sunrise. Fresh sheep's milk. 1 liter, 2 liters. Milk from animals that live in these mountains, that eat mountain grasses, that produce milk only seasonally when food is abundant. By tomorrow, this milk will no longer exist.
Not because it's spoiled, not wasted, but because it will become something else. Something that can feed this family all winter. Something that won't need refrigeration. Something that will taste perfect in 6 months, 9 months, even longer. How can fresh milk, one of the world's most perishable foods, be transformed into something that survives months without electricity, without modern technology, without anything beyond what nomadic families have known for thousands of years?
The nomadic peoples of Iran, the Bakhtiari, Kashgai, and Shahsevan tribes live in these mountains by following the seasons. In spring, they move upward to high mountain pastures where grass grows and animals produce abundant milk. In autumn, they migrate downward to warmer valleys to escape winter's deadly cold. This seasonal movement shapes everything about their lives. It determines when they live where, it determines when animals produce milk, and it determines a crucial reality. They must transform the abundant milk of spring and summer into something that will feed them through the long winter when animals produce little or nothing. Milk is more than food for nomadic families. It's survival, it's wealth, it's the foundation of their entire food system. A family that can transform milk effectively survives. A family that can't, that wastes milk or fails to preserve it, will go hungry.
This documentary is the story of how that transformation happens. Not just the technical process, but the entire way of life built around transforming perishable milk into foods that last. By the end, you'll understand something profound, that humans have always possessed the knowledge to turn scarcity into abundance. Fresh milk arrives with the sunrise. For nomadic families, the milking season, roughly from spring through early autumn, is when the year's wealth is produced. Each animal produces milk only when it's nursing offspring or in peak nutrition. The window is limited. A sheep might produce 1 or 2 liters of milk per day during peak season. A goat might produce more. A herd of 50 animals produces 100 liters daily for a few months. Then the production gradually decreases. This isn't industrial agriculture. The animals aren't confined. They're not separated from their offspring by machines.
A shepherd milks with their hands, understanding each animal, working with gentleness and respect. The milk reflects this. It's clean, rich, perfect. The milk arrives at the tent still warm, body temperature, alive with natural bacteria that will soon become crucial for preservation. But at this moment, it's also fragile. In warm weather, without refrigeration, fresh milk will sour and spoil within 1 or 2 days.
This is where the transformation begins. The moment fresh milk enters the tent is the moment it becomes something else. And the woman who oversees this transformation has learned through a lifetime, taught by her mother who learned from her mother exactly what must happen next. But turning milk into yogurt is only the beginning. The first transformation is yogurt. Fresh milk, warmed gently, mixed with a small amount of previous day's yogurt, a starter culture containing the bacteria necessary for fermentation. Within hours, everything changes. The bacteria, lactobacillus, consume the lactose in the milk and produce lactic acid. This acid causes the milk proteins to coagulate, thickening into yogurt. No modern technology, no chemical additives, just bacteria doing what bacteria have done for thousands of years. A nomadic woman knows by taste and texture when yogurt is perfect. Tanginess that's pleasant but not too sour. Thickness that's firm but not grainy. This knowledge isn't learned from recipes. It's learned by making yogurt daily for 50 years. Fresh yogurt made this morning will be eaten this evening or tomorrow. It's delicious. But it will only last a few days, even in cool mountain air. But the yogurt is not the destination. It's only the first step in a journey that will turn this milk into something that can survive the entire winter. The next step may surprise you. The yogurt cycle continues throughout the milking season. Each day, yesterday's yogurt becomes the starter for today's milk. This creates a continuous chain of yogurt production that can continue indefinitely, but most of the yogurt won't be eaten fresh. Here's where the true transformation begins. Yogurt is churned.
The movement separates it into two parts, butter and buttermilk, a process that's ancient, simple, and remarkably efficient. The churning takes hours, sometimes an entire afternoon of work, but the effort yields something precious, pure fat that will provide calories and flavor for months to come. Fresh butter is made. It's eaten immediately or combined with salt and stored. The buttermilk is slightly sour, refreshing, and also incredibly stable. Some is eaten, some is used for cooking, some is dried for long-term storage. While butter is being made, milk is being turned into cheese through a different process. Rennet, an enzyme, causes milk to separate into solids and liquid. The solids are pressed into forms. The liquid drains away. The pressed curds become fresh cheese. Some is eaten immediately, still soft and creamy. Some is salted and stored in clay pots where it will age and mature. Some is wrapped and placed in mountain streams to cool. These cheeses will remain fresh and edible for months. But the most remarkable transformation hasn't happened yet, because milk can also become something even more remarkable than butter or cheese, something that can last longer than anything else. This is kashk. Kashk is dried yogurt. Yogurt so concentrated that all its water is removed, leaving only the nutrients and proteins. A liter of yogurt becomes perhaps 100 grams of kashk. For days, the yogurt dries in the sun. The water evaporates. The texture becomes almost leather-like. The result is something remarkable. Concentrated milk that weighs almost nothing, requires no special storage, and can last for months or even years. When kashk is rehydrated, mixed with water and heated, it becomes something almost like yogurt again, but with the intense, concentrated flavor of hundreds of liters of milk compressed into a small amount.
A family that's made 50 or 100 kilograms of kashk has essentially captured summer's entire milk production in portable, stable form. Without this final technique, none of the milk's value would survive winter. By the time the family migrates to lower elevations for winter, they've transformed the season's milk into foods that will sustain them through months when animals produce no milk. The preservation is complete. The security is established. A family might have produced 50 kilograms of kashk, 100 kilograms of cheese, 50 liters of ghee. These preserved foods represent the entire family's milk wealth, concentrated and preserved. In winter, when the animals produce little or no milk, the family draws from their summer preservation. Kashk is mixed with water and herbs to create meals, cheese provides calcium and protein, ghee provides cooking fat and calories. These meals, prepared from milk transformed months earlier, represent thousands of years of refined knowledge. Every technique serves a purpose. Every step is essential. The combination of butter, cheese, and kashk ensures that no nutrient is missing. This transformation from fresh milk to winter food is not romantic or quaint. It's survival. It's the difference between a family that eats through winter and a family that doesn't. It's the foundation of everything else in nomadic life. This knowledge has allowed families to survive for thousands of years in mountains that would kill most people without it. Not because the knowledge is complicated, but because it works, because it's been proven through countless generations, because it respects the natural properties of milk and transformation. We return to where we began. The same woman, the same milk. But now it's winter. The milk she poured into those clay pots months ago has become butter, cheese, and kashk. These foods now fill her tent. These foods now sustain her family. As they eat, the knowledge passes to the next generation. A young girl watches her grandmother eat kashk made by that grandmother's grandmother. The knowledge flows through time, through hands, through practice. The wisdom embedded in this process is profound. Fresh milk arrives in abundance for a few months. It's converted into forms that lasts. The family eats through the season of scarcity because of work done during the season of abundance. Nothing is wasted. Everything serves a purpose. If your refrigerator stopped working tomorrow, would you know how to preserve your family's food? Could you transform milk into something that lasts? Could you feed your children through winter using only knowledge and resources available to you? The Iranian Nomads answer yes to these questions. Not because they're special, but because they've maintained knowledge that modern people have chosen to forget. Knowledge that remains available. Knowledge that works. Knowledge that could sustain any family if they were willing to learn.
If this glimpse into the wisdom of milk preservation has interested you, taught you something new, or made you reflect on what true food security means, please like this video and subscribe for more stories about Iranian nomads, forgotten survival skills, ancient food traditions, and the remarkable ways human cultures solve fundamental challenges. In learning how nomads transform milk into winter food, we're not learning nostalgia or quaintness. We're learning how humans have always managed security and scarcity. We're learning that the knowledge to survive without modern technology isn't lost. It's just been temporarily set aside by people fortunate enough to have alternatives. That knowledge remains available to us, waiting to be rediscovered, ready to remind us that humans have always possessed the wisdom to transform abundance into security.